Okay. Sinatape! Welcome to Native Wellness Institute's Wellness Wednesday. Nistu Nidaniko Mokoyo Sukoyi. Like Lily Gladstone, Oki means, she said, Oki Nixikoa. Oki means my spirit is really happy to meet your spirit. Nixikoa means all living things, all my living relatives, all my cousins. So when Lily Gladstone said Oki Nixikoa, she said she's glad her spirit is happy to see your spirit. And she said hello to all living things, all cousins, all relatives. And then she said Nistu Nidaniko. Nistu means my name is, and Nidaniko means my name, and her Indian name is Pitaki. Pitaki, eagle woman. So when Lily Gladstone said Oki Nixikoa Nistu Nidaniko Pitaki, that was what she was saying when she accepted the best female actress for the Golden Globes. She also said Kitsikako Mim. Kitsikako Mim in Blackfoot means I love you, but it means something much deeper. It's like in English language is pitiful. It means Kitsikako Mim means I cherish you. You cherish your children. You cherish your dogs and your cats and your horses. So I just want to, so Nistu Nidaniko Makoyo Sokoyi. It is my second Blackfoot name. I received it from Roger Prairie Chicken Shoe Dance, shortened to Prairie Chicken. Because of a dream that I had in 2016 where I was, most of you know, I'm just telling some of the origin of my name. Most of you know, Mokoyo Sukoi means Wolf's Trail or Milky Way. And most of you know me that I have a Bigfoot outfit that I wear on Halloween. And in the dream I had a wolf's outfit that I pulled up to here. And this part was human and this part was wolf. So Roger said, I'm going to rename you. And so he renamed me in July 2017. And so what that means is I'm growing into the name. When you get an Indian name, if you're Indian, that's our dial. If you're Indian and you get an Indian name, you grow into it. So that's why it's good to have one when you're born, because then you grow into it. And so like Lily Gladstone's Pitaki. Pita is eagle, Aki is woman. So eagle woman is, she has grown, and as you could see, woo, she grew pretty good. She grew really good. She is the icon, the superstar of that. We're just in Skapi Pikani. So Nistu Skapi Pikani. So that means I am Skapi Pikani. I am Blackfeet. Nistu, and this is the other word, and it's dialect that Lily Gladstone said. I'm just doing some interpretation. Sixakeatapi is how Heart Butte people say it. Sixakeatapi is, there's other dialects on the Alberta side, but what it means is Blackfoot Confederacy. And the Blackfoot Confederacy is Sixikai up by Gleason out of Calgary. It is Kainai Blood Tribe by Standoff, Abatsapikani by Brockett, and Blackfeet, Skapi Pikani. The four of us have always been together. Sixakeatapi. So that's the other word that Lily Gladstone said. So Sixakeatapi is the four of us united, and we've always been united. They've tried to disrupt with a border, a Canadian border, and separate the 3 in Alberta from the 1 in Montana, where we have 1.5 million acres. It is now the 6. It's important because the Siksikatepi, because of the Jay Treaty, these 4 are coming together, and we'll have our own entrance. And we have 65 miles right here, entrance into our reservation. We'll have our own entry point. So Nistu Siksikatepi. I have blood from the Kainai. I'm related to the Russells. You should always say who your Russell relatives, but who you're related to. I just send out special prayers to Sterling, Lena's daughter, and Missoula. And you need to say names, because then that means it vets you. It's your, like some people have a resume. When you're Indian, you have a different kind of resume. When you're Indian, you have to name your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, and your great-great-great-grandparents, and your great-great... And you have to have that all in your head, not what you Google. So I have relatives from... they call it we're Skapi Pikani here and Butsa Pikani by Brockett, but we're Pikani. So I have relatives there, and it's just beautiful because John Enault Eagle Ribs, who is the biological father of Sam Newbreast Sr., he has relatives, Eagle Ribs, over in Siksikai. So... and he lived to be 85, and when he died in Alberta, Annie Rutherford, who was one of his descendants from Hart Butte, went and got him and brought him back here to the United States. So I just this is like, when you're Indian, you know all this in your head. So, so quit saying you're part Cherokee, no. Unless you're Gene Tagabon, and unless you're Wilma Mankiller, unless, being part Cherokee and you don't know, who, if you're have a grandma that was a Cherokee princess, or a grandpa that was the Cherokee princess. So I doing some introduction. I just this again. I'm in my mother's bedroom, because we always have visits, and I get to be home this week before we have much travel. So a shout out to Native Dads Network, Mike Duncan. We listen to you every Tuesday at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. A shout out to Katari, Koyas, and Sparrow for all of the training that you do with White Bison and helping people who are clean and sober and want to stay clean and sober. A shout out to Al Pooley and his group for Native fatherhood and families and association and their curriculum on being a mother, being a father, and being a family unit in Indian country. And a shout out to Native Wellness Institute. Because the 4 of us, we're announcing we just finally going to have our 3rd annual Healing Together conference, June 11th on Bainbridge, Suquamish in Seattle. So, please register. I think we have a limit on that. It's June 11th, 12th, 13th at Suquamish Clearwater Resort. Please register for that. And then I just have, I wanted to, first introduce myself. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday, Native Wellness Institute. We started 3.5 years ago, helping us with our healing and our mental health issues through the pandemic. Remember the pandemic? Because most of us, it was 3 years ago, a couple days ago, that my sister Lori Atstanikiwa and Earl Olperson, we had to be like 6 feet apart. We got our first vaccine 3 years ago, January 7th on the Blackfeet Reservation. So I just wanted to remind you, because we're still healing from a pandemic. some of the symptomology coming out of a post-traumatic distressful situation like a pandemic is everybody gets chaotic. Everybody goes really fast. So slow down. Slow down. And so an uplift and say your prayers and get. So I have some just exciting stuff for you. I was just laughing with my mother because like here a lot of our people just like you, when we hibernate and when we go into snow and we go into that cozy time and we make soups and we have a fireplace and we do all, when we start to calm down, some of us say, I couldn't go get my mammogram. I couldn't go get my pap and pelvic. Oh, I couldn't. And this is, I'm coming from the female perspective. I need to get my prostate checked out for males. Get that prostate checked out. Have someone check it out for you. That's just the badass auntie thinking. We need to get our fasting blood. We need to get all of these checkups. We need to see what our A1C is. We need to do all of that stuff. So everybody around here is doing it. So I have to start off with, I just kept laughing all the way in. I drove in. It was -4 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's freezing, but so what? You just got to dress proper. Anyway, I went in 2 days ago, and I just love it because our Indian house service, all of the staff coming in want to do everything in a good service. Not like on reservation dogs where they just let you sit for hours and die in the waiting room. So what happened is we have okay, we'll just talk about getting a mammogram. And on the Montana is rural, and there's like 8 tribes, 11 tribes that live here, Assiniboines over in Fort Peck, the Ani, White Clay, Fort Belknap. We have about 11 tribes, 8 reservations. And so there's a mammogram. It's a big bus that goes around, and we have found all the cancer because this bus travels around and gives everybody a checkup. So this bus was just cruising, and it hit a deer, which happens in Montana. We hit deers, we hit horses. We don't really hit elk. Elk are fast. We don't hit wolves, but we hit slow cows, eh? And it hit a deer, and so I have to get my mammogram in Kalispell, Montana, which is about 3 hours that way in the winter, in the winter, because it's real different. So they're really being good because I was like waiting in line. There was all kinds of elders. I got to shake their hand, and we all got to visit. And boy, we were just visiting up a storm. And so they said, okay, we need to have Logan Health, which is what our contracts are through in Kalispell. We're going to send a message. So this morning, they not only did the IHS call me yesterday to make sure I made my appointment and to call back when I made it, and also a dermatology appointment because we get checks in my family. And yes, I am getting this thing on my nose checked because we get skin cancer. Anyway, so the lady from Kalispell calls me to give me an appointment. They called me. I'm not like, on them. So they must have put, this is an elder you need to check on. So we were talking about, first she said, they all do this. They go, spell your name. And, so I try to be hospitable, but I'm always humorous. And I said, yeah, my name is New Breast, like mammary glands, because some people say Newberg, New Beeb, when they have a phobia to say breast. And I say, like mammary glands. Like mammary glands. That's my name. Theda New Breast. And I said, just because my name is New Breast, I don't do boob jobs. That started our laughing. We were laughing. I don't do boob jobs because some people call me up and ask me what kind of insurance I take because my name is New Breast. They think I do breast reconstruction. So as I'm talking to her, she's asking me, we get date of birth, we get and then she started saying, "Do you have breast implants?" And I've never been, asked this, but I guess Kalispell's where all the California people come in the summertime. They call it snowbirds. They all come to, and then they run back to California in the wintertime. So this must be a standard question because there's so many Californians that I'm sorry to be stereotyping you, but she said, "Do you have breast implants?" And I go, "No, I don't have any breast implants. I like my boobs as they are." So then we started laughing, and then she started asking me, and she we don't have a good connection because it's cell phone, iPhone. I don't know if she has an iPhone or landline, and she asked me had I had a mastectomy, but when she said, "Have you had a vasectomy?" She said, "I heard vasectomy." So then I go, "Why would I need a vasectomy?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, mastectomy." So ma and va are two different. So anyway, I just said, "Why would I need a vasectomy?" And then we started laughing more, and we had a beautiful conversation because we were just laughing. But why do you need a vasectomy? Because way versus road got eroded. You need a vasectomy so that you don't, it's prevention. It's mental health prevention. If you get a vasectomy, and that's like, we've always been talking about, how sacred vaginas are on reservation dogs and smudging your vagina and smudging you because you're sacred. But we also should talk about males. Their scrotums are sacred. They should smudge their scrotums and take care of their scrotums and just not let them squirt around. Because when you just let your scrotum squirt around, you might just have 300 babies out there you don't know running around, and that's a lot of alimony when you're just squirting around. So wrap that rascal. Anyway, this Wellness Wednesday. Welcome to Native Wellness Institute's Wellness Wednesday. We try to share stories with you. It's storytelling to uplift about our mind, our body, our spirit, and our spiritual well-being. So I was just sharing. I'm still laughing now because I've never been asked if I had breast implants by a healthcare provider before. And I've never been asked if I had a vasectomy because I don't even have the equipment to have a vasectomy. So these checkups. So let's talk about how everyone's coming out of this pandemic and reassessing their mental health, reassessing their spiritual health, reassessing their intellectual health, reassessing their emotional, and it's like rechecking your soul. Last week we talked about lateral forgiveness. And so this week we are still continuing to ask you, in moving into this calendar year of 2024, who and what kinds of forgiveness needs to happen. White Bison used to have a campaign, and they still do, about forgiving the unforgivable. But what if it's just smaller? It's not the unforgivable, it's just lateral forgiveness, which means is you forgive everyone and you work on the forgiveness, even if it's baby steps. Let it be, let it go, and then you move on with a brand new day and don't carry that grudge or don't carry that resentment into today. So this lateral forgiveness, so I guess I'm still laughing because the woman that was my ally today, just trying to get a mastectomy, and she said, "When was your last one?" I go, "Well, May of 2022." It's just one of the prevention things that we do is proactively, and Native Wellness Institute, we're always proactive, and the proactive, and I want to say the proactive is we prevent stuff before they happen. That's why being trauma informed lenses when you look at a situation is understanding it and not reacting to it, so that we can get individuals healing. Wow, 2024. So let me begin with everyone was saying that the gyms are overcrowded. You go to the gym and everyone's starting out, and that's good. They're starting out in a good way just by doing some exercise. Everyone is posting meals with no gluten, low gluten, no sugar, low sugar. And then, Indians, I'm just looking out the window, are just over there still eating Lay's potato chips and drinking Coke like they don't give up. Anyway, some we decide to what is our Americans have a New Year's resolution, a New Year's goal, a New Year's plan. So let's just kind of comment, on how, in lifestyle you switch. In lifestyle, and I have a lot of my family, and we joke about it and we heal about it, about being OCD, or being having many plates spinning in the air all the time. And the way the Indians say it, they just say, "Oh, I'm just so busy. Oh, I'm so busy. Oh, you were so busy. Oh, they're so busy." Some of that's bullshit. Being busy. But how do you stop being busy in your mind? Busy all the time. And I see it now, because our number one ER visit is people walking fast with the wrong shoes, falling and hitting their head, breaking their hips, breaking something. Because in the winter, you're supposed to slow down. You're supposed to have cleats. You're supposed to have mucks. You're supposed to not step on black ice, not drive on black ice, unless you're like me, like to go sideways. Anyway, just, we have to be like a bear, a kyayo, a boxique. We're hibernating. And my family here, we always talk about our dreams in the morning. Like, what did you dream? Writing it down, or talking about what you dreamt. I had a dream about my relative Doug Iron Pipe Fitzgerald. So I gotta either go see him or talk to him, because it was a really good dream. It's that hibernating is where we remember our dreams. Do your best to have a dream journal, or talk to someone who you can interpret your dreams about what you dreamt last night. And I see, because your dreams during the winter time are the greatest guide to show you what you need to do in your life. Your dreams in the winter time are the greatest guide. And so you don't have to be Googling stuff. Google's good, but your dreams will guide you. And people that are traditional practitioners will guide you. I'm planning on seeing Natuwa Pisaki, Carol Murray, and have her paint my face, because that's how I clean off and I start new. I clean off because those of you working in the healing field, any of the, you may not even realize, if you're a social worker, if you're a counselor, if you're a treatment, an alcohol, fentanyl counselor, that when you're hearing those stories, you get secondary trauma and they stick to you like flypaper. And you need to get cleaned off with the smudge. You need to clean yourself off because you're helping them vent. And that is one of the greatest healers, is to vent to a trusted person. A trusted person that you can, is not going to stop you, is just going to listen. 2 ears, 1 mouth. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen to you and describing your dream. And because they know you, they can help you interpret that dream. Whew. I slept almost 9 hours last night. And before I went to bed, in my smudge last night, I wanted to smudge with Kapal. Because I've been thinking a lot about Peru and the prophecies and the equinox and the solstice. And now that we're going into that hibernation state, and even all the bears are hibernating, that I asked, I always smudge, and I always reread. I was rereading our creation story. Percy Bullchild was a friend of Harold Belmont's, and I have Harold Belmont's book of When the Sun Came Down. And every winter I reread it because even though I know the creation story, I see it differently because I'm seeing it through these 67 winters that I've lived. Now I'm in my 68th winter living. And last night I was reading the part about Na-Tusi, the sun, and who is married to his wife, who it's right before she becomes the moon. And when there's not day and night, but it's going to become day and night. And I had such joy. It makes me cry now because I heard it differently. And it was the part where Natusi and his 7 sons, who are become the Big Dipper, and the baby son is Ra Man that they're protecting. And they put Ra, and the mother is mad because they killed her snake man shapeshifter friend. They killed him. And she's mad, so she's trying to kill them in the part of this story. So the 7 sons, Ra Man, Okoto, is when they're running from her, they always put the most vulnerable in the front. And then the other sons, and then Natusi is flanking in the rear, protecting. And I'm crying now because I realized we have to put our most vulnerable out front and encapsulate them with all of how we take care of them. If it's your relatives who are in nursing homes, if it's your relatives who are in wheelchairs, or if it's your relatives who use a walker and can't walk fast, we have to surround them with the whole village taking care of them. I have that sentiment right now because I also was visiting with my relative from Canada this morning, and because I was saying Mokoyo Sakoi, my mother had gotten me this big picture of a wolf, and she wanted me to hang it on the ceiling because we don't, Indians don't have enough. We have all our walls have all kinds of pictures. But when she gave me this big, and I say big, maybe it's 3 feet by 2.5 feet picture of a wolf, and she said to put it on the ceiling. As soon as I got to my house, and most of you know I have a big log cabin home, is I went in, and that picture, I went up as high as I could on one of the big rafters, and I hung that wolf so that it's staring. When I sit in my favorite lazy girl, I look at that wolf and remind myself that I'm rebirthing and reclaiming my Indian name and becoming Mokoyo Sokoyi. And so I heard a story from this elder today about the quickness of a Mokoyo, of a wolf, and the Blackfeet language. And I'm just a practicing speaker. The word that describes that lightning fast, when a wolf starts to turn or to run, is the literal translation is, it took off so fast it almost broke its back. So that's how fast a wolf can just turn and like almost, it was so quick and so fast it almost broke its back. And I guess that's why our language is so beautiful and descriptive, and the interpretation is, you need to ask what the interpretation is. So in our talking, they'll say, yeah, you'll always see the weakest, the oldest wolf in the front, and in the middle, you'll see the female wolves, and you'll see the pups in the middle. That's how we should surround our children and our women. And then you'll see the hardcore males in the back when they're going all in a line. And so think about that story of how we surround and help each other in 2024. In 2024, how is Indian country going to surround each other and help each other and have lateral kindness and lateral forgiveness? Whew. And at the same time, one of the things that we need to be mindful in Indian country, in our mind, our body, and spirit, is how we take care of our people when they're getting ready to cross over and make their journey. The celebration of life that we have with them while they're here on earth. So one of the things in 2024, Native Wellness Institute, we just encourage you to think about honoring people while they're alive, while they're still breathing and still have breath, to honor people while they're alive. And so that, right now there's going to be a lot of honorings. Some haven't been revealed and some will be revealed. So I always have to say, I get so excited because there's going to be some real good honorings just coming up real soon in the next few months. But then think about what you could do today. Cook a good meal and take it to your elder. Or just cook a good meal and take it to your grandchildren. Cook a good meal. Like today, I made buffalo. I have a lot of buffalo hamburgers, so I made buffalo meatloaf, and I just put in carrots, and I even put in, because I like rutabagas or turnips, I put that also in the meatloaf, and then I used egg whites to bind it. And then I used a lot, this is funny, gluten-free like crackers instead of gluten-free. And just put it all together, just mash it together and made this meatloaf. So it's like a meal. You don't need no side dish. And then the meatloaf was so big that I just cut some off and I carry it in a Ziploc. And I carry it with me so that I don't eat bad food. I don't eat hungry, just grabbing. And so I was just thinking, because today when I was eating some of that meatloaf, man, the rutabaga was tender. The diced rutabaga inside the buffalo hamburger was delish. And oh yeah, and a big purple onion. The purple onion was delish. And then oh God, it was just like so. And then I've started to use, instead of using salt, because using a lot of sodium, it's going to give you bad health. So they say to keep track of your sodium. So I don't use salt, but I've been using this mix of a little bit of sea salt, nettles, and it has like 6 other. It flavors the meat that tastes better than salt. So anyway, I was thinking to myself, thank you, Creator. Just help me in 2024. I want to eat like this. I want to eat more like my ancestors, like Thosh and Chelsea tell us. But I've been always eating like my ancestors. I just want to eat more. So I took out some buffalo boiling meat, and I took out a purple cabbage and just simmering those, just buffalo. I'm eating a lot of buffalo right now because I think that we should eat what our ancestors ate. And so I have privilege. I have a lot of buffalo and I have a lot of elk. And I'm just, and then I just finally, and I have to tell all of Tiffany out there, I have to, Faith Jarvis up in Tanana, and all my coastal friends. I have ate all the canned salmon that you gave me with pilot bread for breakfast. Like this past, since January 1, I've just been eating salmon and pilot bread. And I'm just describing because this lateral forgiveness is we have to forgive ourselves for maybe not taking care of ourselves. And the way that you have lateral forgiveness is you have lateral action to improving your health. Lateral action where it's taking, be proactive. Like the meatloaf, I have I'll be eating, I can eat it for 3 or 4 days and it's a solid meal. I carry dry meat with me in the car, and I'm going to go get some more dry meat. I carry bananas, I carry nuts, I carry apples, I carry dried papaya. It's just like just having that kind of, having water in a bottle, or having, I get the zero Gatorades, the zero, just having that so that sustenance is good for you. So wellness, welcome to Wellness Wednesday, Native Wellness Institute. And so I wanted to share some other good news. I guess all I have is good news. Last night, I got re-invited from April McGill, which has the San Francisco Village in San Francisco, and Aurora Mamea, who works with Native health clinics on both sides. They've been asked to redo with Bates, which is the Bay Area Indigenous Transgender Two-Spirit Powwow, comes up in February 10th. And so they asked me to come and to do another healing with Native women and those who have femme identity. We had a big healing circle, international. A lot of the Canadians came. They come for Bates for the powwow, but we just had this healing circle. And so we got to hear each other's healing story, either in transformation, transgender transformation, or when someone is coming out, once they are out, and how hard it is to reconcile with your family your new gender fluid idea. So anyway, last night was just, they'll probably be having a poster pretty soon. We'll be having it in the city of San Francisco, and we'll have food, and I want to do a little bit of dancing, so come and dance. That will be on the 8th, and then on the 9th, all of our allies and all of our drag queens international are coming together. We'll be celebrating, but I'll also be doing some one-on-one counseling with Native American Health Center as these 3 days unfold. And so that just happened. It's exciting because we're embracing and we're jumping in just like that, break lightning fast like a wolf into 2024. And so that's going to happen before the Bates, which is huge. It's out on the Presidio. It's out where the ocean is. It's a huge powwow where there's celebration of lesbian, queer, transgender, and now all of the terms, the native terms, are being used to describe someone who's gender fluid. And so they have a big powwow, and so we'll be out there, and so everyone's invited and everyone's welcome. So you might want to come to San Francisco February 10th for Bates powwow. The other, and this one is like the best that I wanted to share with you, is and this has, our brother Al Pooley, his daughter Amy, and their staff are just fantastic. They do a lot with fatherhood. They do a lot with families. And then our other ally, Qatari, with White Bison, Sparrow. I know Dwight's doing some training for they're coming together. And then Albert Titman, Mary Hummingbird, Sergio, Mike Duncan with Native Dads Network. And then, of course, Native Wellness Institute with our executive director, Jolene Joseph. Woohoo, Jolene! And then our staff of Shailene, and our staff of Robert, and our other board members who always help, Lavina Louie, Jackie Blackbird, Cecilia Fire Thunder. And then we just have a whole repertoire where there isn't time of consultants who are number one. Oh, hi, we have a lot of consultants who are number one, clean and sober, who are vetted by their community, which means, they aren't womanizers or manizers, or they're not embezzling. We have this whole repertoire of consultants who walk what they talk. And so all of us, there's a meeting. There'll be another meeting this Friday. We're planning the 3rd annual Healing Together Conference. And again, that will be on Bainbridge. You're all invited. Please register, because I know it's going to be cut off at some point. It'll be happening in June. And the 4 organizations have pledged not to compete, but to ally. So we're not competing. So sometimes you get people who get, Department of Justice funding, or they get SAMHSA funding, or they get some kind of marijuana funding, and then they compete for the same families. That's like crazy. You should ally because you're working with the same Indian country, the same reservation, the same urban area. Just like, when Lily Gladstone, she said every res kid, every urban kid, every, just included, everybody has a dream, and it can come true because it was coming true for her. Every res kid, every res urban kid, every child, here on the Blackfeet Reservation, I was in the women's clinic, and I was giving my fasting blood. Everybody was just buzzing because their children were sitting on the floor watching the big screen, and they heard the Blackfoot language spoken, and they heard that every res kid could become just like Lily. That's why the stardom, our nation is so proud of her. Our nation is so grateful that she got to raise to that platform. And be good to her. Post the positive. Even in high school, she was voted the most likely to get an Oscar in high school. So, don't be trying to tear her down, and I heard Mike Duncan was saying that he watched Echo last night. Other being natives on film, natives on screen, we're coming out, and it's real natives. It's not playing Indian, it's living Indian, and now they're on screen. I just like Lily Gladstone. You know, I guess that's some of my excitement. And Lily, you know, in real life is my niece, eh? Mariah Gladstone, you know, Christine Miko Falcon. There's Terrain Edmo. I think about all of my Alea Plume. That was Miss Blackbeat for 4 years. Those are all my nieces. And I am their real badass auntie in real life, you know. So think about in 2024 the in this good news, and the other good news, and I guess I'm also inviting you to Native Wellness's site because we have finally decided with our Hawaiian relatives to return to Hawaii, and we're doing a trauma informed training, kind of like wellness in the workplace, in March on Oahu. And so you can go to our site and register for that because I think there's a max on that too. So that will be happening in March. We're returning to Hawaii Native Wellness Institute. So everybody, you know, you can be funded through your work. It could be, and a big part of it is self-care, just what we're talking about today. Getting our checkups, you know, checking on our mental health, checking on our humor quota. You know, humor is resiliency, and I guess that's why I always smile so much. I always laugh so much, and you know, in every event I've been at, I've been teasing them because the residential and boarding school look. Yeah, like that, the poker face. That means you're still in the trauma. No one can read you. You can't communicate. So I learned this from Hercules from Hawaii when he was doing the sign language when I was speaking, and because he said in sign language you have to not only describe the sign, you know, like good looking sits beside, hey, you have to wear the emotion on your face while you're signing, because a deaf person looks at your face and reads your face, and man, that is just the best that I've seen is reading. You can read people's face. You can read people. I mean, you can read it by, you know, when someone's going like got their arms crossed. Or, you know, one of the ones I like with Indians, and it's silent. They'll see someone come in the room and they'll just go. Or they'll see someone coming in the room and they'll go. they just wear everything on their face, and you know, and Indians too, like when they're all they're strategically, you know, might be a highly political meeting, and they'll look at each other and they'll go, hey, or they'll go, yay. Or the I'm watching you. You know, we have all this communication, and so when you're communicating, communicate a smile, and inside say, I respect you, I love you, I care for you, and not necessarily a snagging smile, but I love you and I respect you, and say that inside and smile, and that energy, that force of that energy force, that person can feel it. That child can feel that. I just always, when I go around, I tell children, Kitsikako, ma'am, I love you. And then I hug them, and when I hug them, I just whisper in their ear and encourage something. You're going to do great things this year. You are so smart. You are so brilliant. You are amazing. You are just making me believe in love because I just love you. Just what we're communicating and what energy we're sending out. And that's what Wellness Wednesday is about. What kind of communication and what we are sending out into the world. Whew, the sun is coming out. I've been splitting wood this week because I still can. I mean, my nephews come and chop, but I've been splitting wood, and I just do it slowly. Even yesterday, I'm glad I had my mucks on because one of the blocks of wood hit my leg, and the muck took it. And had I had bear skin there, that wouldn't have been good. And I was thinking to myself, that's why you got to dress proper, you know. And but I was splitting the wood. I stopped and I looked up into the sky and I said, "Haos Jabatabi, Nagai Kamokat Nagaspomokat. Haos Jabatabi, pity me, help me, Nagai Kimokat Nagaspomokat, help me." In 2024, ask for help. Ask your relatives, ask people, ask for therapy, ask for 12-step group, ask for someone to listen and give you feedback, ask for someone to hear your story, to trust your story, ask for help. Because remember, we're correcting the 3 things that Indians need to be better at saying. I love you, I'm sorry, and help me, I need help. So telling everyone that you love them, Gitsikako like Lily Gladstone said. Gitsikako showing that you love them, giving them. My mom sent out 97 holiday cards, and she just got back a gift from someone. I mean, I love you, I cherish you. Gitsikako. I think I just love and squeeze you and hug you. That kind of, say that to everyone. I'm sorry. Tell people, last time when we were together, I said something that it didn't land right. I'm sorry. Can we start over? You're important to me. You matter. I'm sorry. Can we work on mending it? Can we mend our relationship? Lateral forgiveness. I'm sorry. How can I fix this? How can I make sure it never happens again? Wouldn't that be great if United States said, I'm sorry, we're going to give you back your land. I'm sorry, we're going to give you back all of your land back. Woo-hoo, all 50 states, they give back. I'm sorry. So I love you. I'm sorry. And this, as they're kind of winding down, this asking for help. Smudge every day. You know, before I got on here, I went in, my mom has a really good smudge out in the living room. I was just smudging. And there was some sweetgrass and there was sage because my mom likes kapal. She likes different kind of smudges. And I already had, smudged at my own home, just praying that I could drive in here. And I do. I got a good truck. Got good tires. This, I love you. I'm sorry. And this asking for help. Light your smudge throughout the day, but when you wake up go to the bathroom first, but light your smudge and just sit quietly and ask for help. Ishtabatapi, no gaikimoka, no gaspomoka. Tenkashala, help me. Mahio, help me. Akpadadia, help me. Buddha, help me. And if you believe in other organized religions, Jesus, no gaikimoka, no gaspomoka. If you believe in other ways, that's good too. Because Indian and non-Indian need to come together. If you want to help Gaza, pray every day for Gaza. If you want to help with the situation, Ishtabatapi, help these Europeans on the other side find harmony. Surround the children with guardian angels. Surround the women with guardian angels. Surround the men with guardian angels and help them heal and to reharmonize and to take care of each other. That I love you, I'm sorry, and this asking for help. I was thinking about asking for help going into therapy. 12-step is free. Talking circles are free. There's all this free stuff. But it's okay to go and seek an acupuncturist, a Reiki. It's okay to read your tarot cards together and see what comes up for you. It's okay to ask for help and healing. It's okay to ask for therapy. I think starting next Wednesday, we'll start talking about healing as an ACOA, adult child of an alcoholic, if you're interested. I'll start bringing that in because I was thinking, God, wow, if I didn't go to Alateen at 12 years old, if I didn't go to Al-Anon meetings and then eventually all of the ceremonies that I was in and work on my healing of codependency and being an adult child of alcoholic. That means as a child, I grew up in a home where there was drinking or there was trauma or there was chaos. If I didn't work on that and continue to work on it, I think I'd be dead. Because I'm now looking at my age, my peers, and reaching out my hand so that they could work on it. But that healing is just so important. Number one, because you want the serenity. Number one, because you need the clarity. And I just tell you, like, I'm just, I guess I'm the smudgemas in a calm place right now before we leave you. Native Wellness Institute, every Wednesday, we'll be here with positive, productive, and uplifting hour that can take you into 2024. So send us a message if you want something, because I was thinking, of doing something on the silent sons, on the perfect daughter syndrome, etc. And the next month we're going to be on the road, so we'll be coming to you from San Francisco, from Dillingham, Alaska, from Portland or Barbie's Village. We'll be coming to you from in a couple of weeks. Aurora and I will be going out to the band of Potawatomi, Prairie Band of Potawatomi. So look me up there. We'll be talking to you then. So this is Makoyo Sequoia, Theda New Breast. I'm just one of the team members of Native Wellness Institute. We come to you every Wednesday, and I really appreciate. Please share this if you think it can help someone be uplifted and just to talk about healing. So until this is my 74-year-old friend beaded this. She's from Rosebud, and she just gave it to me, and it's just such a like to be aware and to do healing from missing and murdered. And her and I met in 1963 at a Nanakoa conference, and she's 74 and I'm 68. We're still healing, we're still going forward. But I just I wanted to wear it today just to honor her and share it with you. So until next Wednesday, I'll say Kitakito Matsuno and Kitsikako Mem, just like Lily Gladstone said. I cherish you and I love you.